sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Commanders, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 25.
Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And, Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best? That team will win the game.
Ready to get us started, it's Cade York, and we are underway from Commanders Field. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield, and this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
Concentration, so key on a ball like that. It's hard. I know how difficult it is, but that's a ball you've got to come up with. And instead, a big play is going to slip through their fingers, literally and figuratively.
Here's Wilson.
Now he's free at the 35.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10.
Down at the 33.
And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. Here's 2nd and 7.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. It's 24. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Wilson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This one from 35 yards away. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Leading him out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
Partner, we always talk about how important 3rd down is, but I think 1st down is equally important because everything comes off of that play. If the defense wins the down, they are able to attack. If the offense wins the down, they might go faster, do other things, and change things up. That big play right there allows this offense to really get in gear.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Once more, here's Eckler, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
Steps away to his left. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
To throw is Daniels. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown.
Jamison Crowder, a 24-yard touchdown.
And the Commanders have answered that early field goal to take a 1st quarter lead. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
He gave a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this, they believe they've got a quarterback. Look up, elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
2nd and 7.
Throwing is Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete.
Every now and then, you hope some volleyball training actually comes into play as a defender. When a ball's tipped in the air, nice play by the defense, got a hand on it, but when it's in the air, it's up for grabs. And too many times in this league, we've seen great plays happen for an offense as a result of a ball tipped in the air. So what you really want to do is be that guy who comes off the back line and spikes it, knocks it to the ground. Don't let him have that opportunity.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. They go play action now. Wilson. Flush to his right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Warren will try the right side.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Now, we all know that an offensive coordinator and a quarterback, they're aligned at the hip. But when you've got a runner who can get you that kind of yardage, that guy's invaluable.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7.
To throw is Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Russell Wilson. A 23-yard run.
And the Steelers have retaken the lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told.
And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
To the air goes Daniels.
Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
All right, say it with me now. There's a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty?
Yep.
Wily? Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
The Steelers offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a third down coming up.
Here's Wilson.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Misdirection's the key on this play. They line up with 3 receivers to the opposite side of the tight end, and they're all going to work their way across the field and let the tight end slip underneath against flow the other way. They're banking that he can get lost, and that's exactly what happened as they pick up a first down.
A handoff for Warren.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big.
On the give, it's Warren.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Now Wilson.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Dorrance Armstrong gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep here, Jamison Crowder. This is brought in at the 21. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Now Daniels.
And complete to Zach Ertz. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Daniels.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Throwing now is Daniels. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Dorrance Armstrong. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. At that time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. That's strong running. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Daniels looking to throw.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Daniels.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench, not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Once more, they turn to Patterson.
They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down.
Here's Wilson to throw.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Set to punt. Here's Cameron Johnston. Now it's Crowder. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And the Washington offense going back to work.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome. And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 2.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Daniels. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now it's Wilson.
A short one there to Freiermuth. And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers first down as the tackle made at the 22.
It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now Wilson.
He finds Pickens over the middle.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Finding Pickens for another catch.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
That's caught downfield by Pickens.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Throwing again here, Wilson.
And that one to the right side and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, Wilson.
That throw right side here going to be incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the 3rd quarter. Well, out of the locker rooms, here they come. Their first drive of the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd down and 4.
Back to throw. Daniels. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is caught, and they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll try the right side with Eckler. Pushes past him. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Daniels. And that will be incomplete. Cole Holcomb, he got a hand on that throw and knocked it down.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the run, it's Warren. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
They've been running it well all game, and why not? The big guys up front, they're just having a ball, creating monster holes for their guys to run through.
2nd and a couple.
Here's Wilson.
Got an open man. It's Pickens.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. What good hands there defensively. That's 2nd down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Throwing is Wilson.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle. You put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now, because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Wilson.
Open man, there's Darnell Washington. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 14. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now it's Wilson.
Slant route, and he's got Freiermuth.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Wilson snags it left side. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. To throw again is Wilson. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
The sack by the linebacker, Jamin Davis.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal?
Warren is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And a throw there going to be incomplete. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Boswell's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
To the air goes Daniels.
Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Now Daniels.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted.
Picked off by Deshaun Elliott.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
So that a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the 3rd quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you can lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
So now the Steeler offense coming onto the field. They'll try to add 2 more. They're going to try and run. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for 2 is snuffed out.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They run the option on 2nd down.
4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Play action, now it's Daniels.
And that is incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. $40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference, because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points.
But
and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. After this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
2nd down and 3.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And this is going to be a Steelers 1st down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at Commanders Field.
It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson, he finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Wilson. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. Crowder now to return. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense set to take over again. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. To throw is Daniels. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Daniels looking to throw.
And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Running on 1st down, Eckler.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Airing one out for Crowder.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Commanders have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
They go play action now. Wilson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Wilson.
A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 7. Now a run with Warren. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now a 3rd and 6.
To throw is Wilson.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. They started on the ground with Eckler. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
Off the play fake, Daniels.
Looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A huge play there for Washington. 47 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. This is a counter play. Eckler. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Two yards left on 2nd down from the 9. Here's Daniels. And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown. Ben Sinnott. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders have taken a 4th quarter lead. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
So Washington now with an important 2-point conversion attempt. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now it's Wilson. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. Now Wilson. A short one there to Freiermuth. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up 2nd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. This is 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Wilson. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining.
And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. The Commanders offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11.
It's Eckler again. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So Russell Wilson and the offense down by a field goal. 1:37 remaining. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wilson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Bobby Wagner in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
Now Wilson.
That's to Freiermuth.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
The towels are waving. Steeler fans on their feet. It's 3rd down.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Wilson to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he takes this almost to midfield. So they needed a pretty good size play, and they got it.
They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.
The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.